Hi developers out there, welcome back. In this clip, we are going to make use of Svelte as our front end, as I promised last time in our two previous tutorials or clips. We made use of React and the Vue, but in this clip, we are going to make use of Svelte. So what I will need to do now is to come to this plus button and click on it. Then I will now search for Svelte here. Then I click on the first template here, and then I can now rename it to whatever I want. So here I will call it Svelte Paystack. Then I can now create the project. Alright, as you can see, our project is successfully created. So the I will need to remove some parts, clean up the UI a little bit. So let me remove all these parts first. Alright, after removing it, then I will need to make some changes by renaming my components. Let me come to this component counter. Let me change this to pay, and then this also to pay. And then in the library folder, I will also rename this to pay also. And the component itself. So let me just rename it to PR. I think everything is set now. If I should run the project now, so as you can see, we have everything working fine now. So let me copy here and try to open another tab so to see how it looks in a bigger screen. Okay, you can see it now. Everything is working fine now. All right. So the next thing I will do now is to open our bonnet. So let me open in a new tab and let me make it a little bit wider. Okay. So we can see everything now. So I will need to remove some parts also from this our pay component. Now, so I will need to remove this style also. Okay, let me just leave this style where it is, and then so I will quickly grab and copy the form that we used in our last tutorial and copy it. So as you can see, I've successfully copied that and pasted it. So let me just remove what we have there, and then so you can see we have our form ready. Let me remove this hello world and change it to probably payment. I think that will look better. So let me quickly do that. So let me just change this to payment. If we should check again, all right, everything is looking nice now. So let me now style. Let us make this our form look a little bit nice because it's not looking nice the way it is. So I will still make use of W3 CSS. So as you can see now, I have a code available. Then I can now grab it, then go back to Replit and create a new file here, which I will name style.css, and then now open it. Then I'll paste what I just copied to CSS and I paste it here. I can now close that. All right. So now let me now link that style to our project. So let me come here, index.html, then inside on the header part, I can now have a link to close it. Then I will have a href into our path, which is a /style dot css. And the rel attribute, we have a style sheet. All right, so let's see our form now and see how it's looking. Look, right, you can see it's reflecting now, which is looking pretty good now. So I think everything is working normal. So now what are we need to do next? Let me go back to our component here, and then we have to declare a variable, and I will say const is that what we have here in our action attribute here. Then we have an arrow function here. Then after that, we have our normal URL, the one we normally use, which is an endpoint to our backend. Then we have the event on submit. then prevent page reload, and then our function here. So I think that is what we need to do. Then I will have to use here async, and then inside here we get another variable of action underscore url. Then we now have let's have it as one of our parameters here. Then dot target dot action. So let's try to log this and see the log. We have a action underscore URL here. So if we should go once again, let me try to go to inspect. So now if I should come here and try to inspect, and if I should come here and try to click on pay button, you can see now we have access to this URL. Okay, that is fine. So now the next thing we need to do now is to declare another variable, and we call this variable form data. So we say const form data equal new, and we have a form data. Then we pass the parameter target. Alright, so let's try to look at it. Target. Let's go back to our browser console and see. So once again, let me try to click on this pay button. As you can see here now, we have this everything inside our form tag or form element. So as you can clearly see, exactly what we are looking for. All right. So the next thing we want to do now is to transform our object into key value pairs. Transform our form data into an object. So what we are going to use now is to use a object dot from entries. Now let's first declare a variable called object. Then we have a object dot from entries, and the argument from entry here. And then so let's try to log this also to browser console and see what we have here. So let me try to clear this, and let me try to fix something and click on this pay button. As you can see, we have a email, and what we have here, because we've not filled the amount. If I should fill the amount, you can see everything here. So we've been able to grab what we are looking for, all the data we want. We've been able to grab it. All right, that is fine. So the next thing we need to do now, let me declare another variable called res, which stands for response, and we use a fetch API, and let me use of this practice, and then I will now grab what we have here, which is used as our URL. So let me try to grab everything, and is everything. So after this, have a forward slash amount, and then forward slash. What do we want to get? Before that, let me to have a weight here, right? And also declare a variable called const, and then we can actually have a, let's say, result, and then now have a weight also, and we have a rest JSON, right? Now let's try to log this browser console and see if we're doing the right thing here. If we should log this now, go to our browser. Let me clear what we have here and try to fill in something in our form. If I should click on this, so we are seeing message email is required. Okay, that's good. But if I should remove this part, this amount, let's see what happens next. Okay, if I should once again click fill in the form here, and then click on it, we can see message invalid amount sent. So let me return this, and now the amount. So here now, let me remove this variable, and I have a object dot amount. So get the amount. So let me try to, instead of having the whole object, let's say dot amount here and see what it will be returned to us. So let me clean up our browser console, and try to fill in something here once again. And if I should click on pay button now, you can see we have a 1000. the amount I'm having here, and then now it's saying email is required. Okay, let's handle that email aspect. So let me grab everything we have here and also paste it. And instead of amount, we have a email. Then here we want to grab the email. Then we have a email also. Then we can do for the rest. But since our first name and last name is not that crucial, so we are going to leave that, but you can fill it in your own form. So if I should come back here once again, let me try to clean up a little bit and fill in some data into our form and click pay once again. You can see we have my email here, and then we have some JSON data being returned by Paystack, and what we actually need from all this is this data aspect, and then this authorization URL to grab this checkout link. So how we need to do that is very simple. Since we've been able to grab this, let me try to remove this aspect. And now, so the next thing we want to do is to convert this JSON to an object. So we can declare a variable called const JSON. Let's call it JSON to object. We have a JSON dot pass and the result we have here. And if we should try to log it with our browser console once again, we have next. Then you can see we have here what we are looking for, which has successfully changed our JSON data to an object. So now that is looking pretty nice. So the next thing we want to do now is to try to grab this authorization URL, what we are having here. So we want to grab this object data, then what we have inside it, the authorization underscore URL. So we can easily do that by first declaring a variable. Let's call it const get URL. Let's say get URL. So we have this JSON to object, then dot data here, then followed by this authorization underscore URL. So say dot also, and if we should log this to console, then let's have this complaining. Okay, I think making a mistake there by having column there. All right, so let's try to log what we have there and see how everything is looking now. So let me try to fill the form once again and click on pay button. You see you've been able to successfully grab this. This is exactly what you are looking for. And then to now route to this URL, all we need to do, okay, let's just have a conditional statement that if this is not equal to null or undefined, then I'll route to a checkout by saying window dot location dot href for this get URL. All right, I think that's pretty much what we need to do. So let's try to see how everything is working now. Let me clean up a little bit our console, browser console, and try to fill our form. Let me click on P button once again and see. So you can see we've been directed to this checkout .paystack.com. So after that, we can now fill in our card and click on pay. Oh, we are having 100 here instead of 1000. So let's try to do something concerning that. Here now we can have a times 100 since everything is equal, since we are having an error there. All right, so let's try and see if it's gonna work like that. Let me go back and once again let's refresh the page and they try to fill in something once again, some data. Have a 1000 there, then click on pay button. Okay, I think it's working now. All right, we are having 10,000 here. Did we fill in 10,000? Don't think so. Let me go back and see what is happening. What is happening here? Okay, let's try to fill our form once again. This expression here, I don't think there's any problem with that. Let's try to fill our form once again. This time, okay, I think we're having 10,000 here. And so as I click on pay button once again. Good, okay, we are having 10,000, which is right. So if I should click on success, that is filling my card details, and I click on the button, you can see our payment is successful. So that is pretty much what we can do to actually use a Svelte as our front-end technology. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.